I said I wasn't going to talk very much about I'm a Celebrity, and suddenly two videos come at once. It's like waiting for a bus, isn't it? And I thought I had to come back and do another video because the news has just come in that the first episode of I'm a Celebrity attracted 7 million viewers on Sunday night, as opposed to 9.1 million viewers when Matt Hancock went into the jungle. So if Nigel Farage thinks that he is such a star that he's going to boost the viewing figures of I'm a Celebrity, he has been proven wrong. And equally, the production company has made a major error in paying him so much money for so little return. Nigel Farage, if you recall, has said that in the jungle you're going to find the real me. Well, does that sound like Boris Johnson? I think that sounds like Boris Johnson. Anyway, it's so difficult to tell them apart, isn't it, these days? Actually, and Rishi Sunak is up there among them. So you're going to find the real me. That's a sort of... I don't quite know what that means, except in some sort of onanistic way that he's going to find himself in the jungle, sleeping on a hammock. I don't see that this programme is any different, really, than a variation on Big Brother or The Circle. And believe me, I know all about that. I was on one of these reality TV programs. I know all about the voice of God. I know all about the prompting of production. I know that when you're expected to make a significant change in the plot, the decision-making is left to about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then you are goaded and prompted. Well, why don't you get rid of Brooke? Well, you've always said that you wanted to get rid of Brooke, did I? Yes, I remember you saying this. Well, I would say, did I hell? But I still went ahead and did what I was told to do, because that's the effect of working at 3 o'clock in the morning after having been kept up all day. And you're tired, you're exhausted, it all seems insignificant. And yes, you give your very best to put in the best performance you possibly can. And in terms of entertainment, I must say, I loved being an entertainer on The Circle, but in terms of gameplay, there was no game. I was the subject of the game rather than somebody who was involved in a game. The game was played by production. Anybody who wants to get involved in reality TV should actually get in touch with a company called, or charity called UCAN. It's not yet started up in the UK. I'm having a chat with people to see whether or not that's a possibility. But UCAN is an organisation which has started up in the US to cater to people who are involved in reality TV, because such people, participants, sometimes called contestants to demean them even further, to give them the impression that they're actually involved in some sort of competition, which they're not. The competition is the MacGuffin. The competition is this excuse. The competition is what you see on the television. It's not really the reality of the show. The reality of the show is to exploit individuals, individual performers, so that they will be put in situations where they probably will follow a particular script that they don't know about. In my case, I'm rather proud that I think I changed that script, and I worked out where we were going and what was going to happen. But I think I was in The Circle with a very short time span expected, and I stayed in till the end. I'm very proud of my achievement in that. But the time that went on afterwards, these companies, obviously, if you are involved in exploiting somebody, it's very difficult to turn off that tap. It's very difficult to stop exploiting somebody. And I think the production company and the people who are working for them didn't know when to stop. And that is the problem. It's not anything to do with whether you can deal with fame or the loss of fame, or whether you need psychological support or not. It's about the production company needs to pull back the moment the show is over. You need to be managed by reputable agents, and you need the security of union representation. Without that, as I say, If you're thinking about reality TV, talk to UCAN. Ring them up. Send them a message. I'll put a link at the bottom of the page. But UCAN know what they're talking about. UCAN have been through it. And meanwhile, if you're a member of Equity, I am, write to your equity representatives and write to the General Secretary, the Secretary General, I can't remember which way round it is, Paul Fleming, and explain that Equity should be taking on reality TV performers because they need representation. They need to be protected from exploitative management. And management, too, needs to be given better guidelines than the rubbish which was put forward by Ofsted, which was simply their proposal, because Ofsted didn't. Ofsted were picking up rubbish from the Digital Culture, Media and Sports organisation and the ministry, and there was a committee hearing into Jeremy Kyle and Love Island, and it only heard testimony from production staff. It didn't really hear testimony from participants. I think 4 participants gave testimony before the thing was stopped, and it was never assembled after the 2019 election, and it should have been. And that was up to, now I discover, that was up to the committee itself. But for 3 years I've been writing letters and trying to find out why this committee didn't reassemble. I've been told to talk to Ofcom. I've been told to talk to the Secretary of State. In the end, it's down to the committee, and I probably find that the committee will write back and say, no, it's down to the Secretary of State. It just goes round and round in a circle because no one wants to take responsibility for it, because we've now got some sort of regulations. They're not good. They don't work. They're not going to protect you if you are involved in one of these shows. And by the way, if you think you're going to get in one of these shows by applying, wake up. These shows are cast by people who know exactly who they want, and it may not be you. And I'm sorry about that. But the application is just part of the fantasy of this strange and ridiculous world of cheap television.